So the exercise that we want to do now is to see what are the pros and cons of alcohol, right? What are the pros and cons for you personally in making that choice? And what are the pros and cons for your community? Because inevitably we are individuals, but we are part of a community. So what we do also does affect our community.
It is not a secret for all of us that consuming a glass or two of wine every day can be good for the heart. But it is true that light to moderate alcohol drinking is actually good for elderly people.
In animals, alcohol has been found to disrupt the interaction between the brain, pituitary gland, which regulates the secretion of sexual hormones, the ovaries, as well as
And in the third paragraph, it refers to memory impairment due to alcohol. Short-term memory is okay, but cannot extend beyond a few minutes.
These deficits then are on the range from very minor to very severe, and it creates an inability for a transfer from short-term memory to long-term memory. Because as it gets worse, then you suffer blackouts.
Memory loss.
Memory loss.
And the blackouts will vary from critical elements of an event, and in the worst case scenario, you can see here, the guys can't remember the whole event whatsoever. So it would depend on your level, of your body's level tolerance of alcohol.
It was subjective statistical analysis, so nothing was definite. So the main points we got out of that were that alcohol affects more than just makes you drunk. It affects the lives of the people closest to you as well, and that is a proven fact. Then the other main point was people die. More people die of drinking than soldiers killed at war. Well, actually they said that more people die of drinking in the States than soldiers were killed in the 12 years of the Vietnam War. It gives you temporary joy. And the cons are that you come down. You have a greater sense of confidence as a pro, but it's a false sense of confidence as a con. People are prettier. That's a pro. The con is they're still ugly.
Even though they're sick or they're alcoholics, it can be successfully treated. Bars make lots of money and it can be used as business opportunities. And it's a good social networking tool. Because a lot of people meet in places where the first thing on the menu are drinks. The cons is obviously there's lots and lots of social pressure. It's expensive, can't always afford it. Major health risks. And like you said, people become more uglier because you age faster. Like with the fine lines, that Botox can't remove. But obviously it ruins relationships.
And they say that basically if a child at the age of 14 starts drinking, by the time they reach the age of 21, they've already consumed enough alcohol from someone who starts from 21 and drinks. They say that adult drinking, it affects adults more with your bone growth, your hormone growth, etc. Where with the young children, growing up obviously in the youth, their testosterone is going, their sexual development and everything, and it's all stunted. By the time they reach the age of maturity, they've already consumed equivalent what an adult would have drunk for between 10 and 15 minutes, basically. So
the pros of feeling good or daring, medicinal, or number 2, number 3 was social, part of a group.
Feeling in.
Yeah, that's pros. Cons for suppressing feelings, medical problems. Number 3, blackouts. Number 4, forgetfulness, memory loss. Number 5, mood swings, psychological. Number 6, financial losses. Number 7, loss of assets and families.
Blackout.
Yeah.
Yes.
How does that happen?
A blackout is basically when you drink.
I've never seen anybody having a blackout.
Well, I can let you in on it. From the age of 18 for 24 years, I'm basically a recovering alcoholic. I was in a rehab for 9.5 weeks in 2006. So I know all about that. Blackout basically is where your body gets so used to alcohol that you don't get drunk anymore. So how it works is, I can sit in a bar and I can have 6 beers and I can have a huge conversation with you, and I'll wake up next morning, you'll say to me, "Oh, we had a lovely evening." I'll say, "Who the hell are you? I don't know you."
It asks, does it affect gay people, does it affect gay lovers, etc., etc.?
Should we ask that question or?
I think it's all around it.
Yeah.
But see, we are gay group.
No,
There's people in the room.
Yeah.
It's across the board, yeah.
I think it affects people across the board. But
See the statistics of if 26%, you have a 26% chance of dying if you don't drink, but you have a 21% chance of dying if you do drink, is oblivious of context and explanation. Because that 26% means that you could die like most South Africans do of tuberculosis, you could die of cancer. Caucasians can actually process all the sugars and all the alcohol that's in the beverage. Okay, their bodies can process it a lot faster and a lot better. Asians, for example, can't, because there's nothing more crappier than a hangover headache. There's nothing more crappier than the mood associated with a hangover headache. There's nothing more disgusting than when you rush forward and take the first beer because you believe that that beer is actually going to take over your hangover.
Yeah, it says 40 days.
so that's questionable. I mean, that what if somebody wants to repent and you can't ask because the fasting? I was going to go in a little bit of detail of this, but really the bottom line of fasting is self-restraint, right? Is to, so you take away something in fast. It's normally the food, it's the sex, it's the drink, it's the cigarette. Yes, during the day. Like from sunrise to sunset. And you take away these things because these things are things that you normally view as necessities, right? So you take them away, and that's a way of helping you to teach yourself self-restraint. Also, there's a relationship between self-restraint and consciousness, right? Or God consciousness. And you'll see that, and I wanted to show you this, but there's a couple of verses. You'll see when God speaks about self-restraint, there's also the word taqwa involved, which means consciousness. So, in actual fact, what we're coming to is fasting teaches self-control, right? And that's your personal sacrifices that you make. That personal sacrifices leads to a heightened consciousness, and that heightened consciousness is necessary for the workability of society.